Let's be honest, the IELTS test is expensive. And it's not just the cost of the IELTS test itself. There are other things that you have to pay for. Transport, books, coaching sessions, classes, maybe even taking the test again. It all mounts up to a significant outlay of money. If you're interested in doing IELTS on a budget, then this video is for you. Keep watching for a few tips and ideas about how you can get through the IELTS without spending a fortune. So first, let's break down the real cost of taking the IELTS test. Now, the cost of the test itself will be different in different countries, but generally I think it's safe to say that you're looking at around about $200 to pay for the IELTS test itself. And in fact, let me know in the comments, how much does the IELTS test cost in your country? And do you think it's expensive or not? Once you've paid for the test itself, you have to consider transportation to the centre. This could even mean flight tickets and hotel bills in some cases. You might also need to spend money on IELTS preparation books and coaching sessions or classes for IELTS preparation. And then there are other costs that might come up suddenly. These could be fees that you have to pay to reschedule the test, or you might want to get a remark on the test. And then, of course, if you don't get the result you want, you have to book another test and pay another $200 or so. The good news is that there are some things that you can do to reduce these costs. Let me give you some ideas here. The first thing is to make the most out of the free resources that are available on the internet. Your first stop should be IELTS.org, where you can download all of the free test materials. If you don't know how to do that, I have made a video, so check that out. Another good source of free material is the British Council, and they actually have quite a few coaching strategies and tips that are free for you to access. Again, I'll put the link in the description for the British Council. Another place to look is Cambridge University Press. Cambridge University Press is the organisation that actually writes the IELTS test material. And if you go there, you might be able to find more sample test PDFs that you can get for free. And then last but not least, we have all the IELTS YouTubers. There are plenty of IELTS YouTube channels. Of course, the best one is IELTS Breakthrough. With those YouTube channels, they have lots of good videos, and browse through the various channels. Take a look at the best YouTube videos for IELTS that you can find. One tip though is when you come across videos that promise to give you a band 9 result, I would just skip those. You don't need a band 9 to get where you want to go. Band 7 or 8 score is plenty. So basically you're wasting your time watching videos that promise to show how you can get to band 9. I've even made a video on that as well, and you can watch that if you like. Now, the next tip is to have the right strategy. Creating a strategy is basically free, and having an effective strategy brings you the results that you need. The first thing is a study plan. Make sure that you know what you are going to study and when. Create a timeline for your IELTS preparation. Vocabulary is very important, and in fact, even more than vocabulary, you can use the digital flashcards from Anki and Quizlet. They all have free versions that you can sign up for, and these will help you to study and develop your knowledge of IELTS test taking skills, as well as learning the vocabulary. And then another tool you've got is, of course, AI. You can use your AI, the ChatGPT or any of the others to practice IELTS. You can do that with speaking, with reading, listening. You can check your answers, get a transcript. And of course, AI will help you with writing, especially when it comes to reviewing and giving you feedback on your writing. So make sure that you run AI through as part of your practice regime. Finally, in this section, you could also consider joining one of the online groups. Facebook has a number of IELTS study communities, and you can join one of those communities for free and discuss your questions and issues, problems about studying IELTS with other people in that community. The last set of tips that I have is around the subject of avoiding taking the test too many times. One big cost that people have is when they have to take that IELTS test 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. Imagine if you're taking the test, let's say 4 times, we're looking at $1,000 probably, and that's just on the IELTS tests. So before you actually do the test, you need to make sure that you are completely ready. You can do this by, number 1, understanding the scoring criteria. When you understand the scoring criteria, you know what skills you need to focus on that will have an impact on your test result. Also, make sure that you do as many mock tests as you can under timed conditions. This is a way of improving your test fitness. Remember, you can get free tests online, so collect as many free tests as you can, do them under timed conditions, and become IELTS test fit ready. And then the last thing here is to fix your weaknesses before you actually do the test. Now, the 2 key weaknesses that actually affect people's test result is usually the vocabulary and grammar. So grow your vocabulary, strengthen your grammar. Concentrate on those 2 things, and then when you feel more confident, book your test day. Now, of course, IELTS Breakthrough is here to help you, and please make sure that you do subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's completely free to watch any of the videos I have available for you, and they are all focused on helping you get that high score in IELTS. I would also encourage you to go to my website, IELTSbreakthrough.com, and I've got some downloadable guides and information that you can get from there. It's all completely free. So just have a look at the website, click on the button, and you can get those resources. No questions asked, no credit card or anything like that required. If you found this video useful, like it so that more people can see it, and subscribe for more videos that show you how you can get the highest result that you can. IELTS shouldn't be a big financial commitment, so let's work together to make sure that it isn't. And I'll see you in the next video.